Hi guys, welcome back to our another video about annotations in Java. Come guys, let's start the video. Introduction to annotations in Java. Annotations in Java are the powerful features that allows the developer to add meta descriptions to their code, and these meta description tags can provide the additional information about the code, and enabling the tool and framework to leverage this information for various purpose. For example, you have some code, you have written some code, but when you are trying to compile, or when you are trying to run the code, there is no issues in a compile time, but there will be possibilities of issues forming an issue in a runtime, right? So that if you use some annotations, or we can create our own annotations. So let me discuss about that in coming slides. And these are all the features of annotations. Let's know what is the definition of annotation. Annotations are meta description added to Java code. It's nothing but the extra data. Meta descriptions is nothing but, you know about that, that is extra features or extra things we are adding to our code to optimize our program or our code. Purpose is the provide additional information about the program elements and all. Using annotations or annotation classes and methods, variables and parameters or more. In these features we will use the annotations. Annotations in Java are the way to attach additional information and meta descriptions or meta data to program elements like classes, methods and fields. They serve as a way to provide extra details about the intended use. Configuration or processing of these elements, which can then be leveraged by the compiler tools or the runtime environment. If you use the annotations in some snippet of codes, what happens is nothing but the runtime error should be less. Let's see the types of annotations. There are four types of annotations: marker annotations, and single value annotations, multi-value annotations and meta annotations. Marked value annotations are nothing but the blank annotation. We are not returning anything, or it is blank. We are creating an annotation, but we are not defining anything under the annotation class. That's it. These annotations simply makes a program element without providing any additional information. They act as a metadata to convey information about the code. That's it. About a single value annotations are, these annotations are a single element that stores a value like a string and number or enum. It can be stored any number of any type of single value. What any number of single value can store. That's it. In a multi-value annotations, these annotations have a multiple element that stores the different type of values, and allows for values, allowing for a more complex meta description and to be attached to program elements. We can add more meta descriptions like 2 to 3 arguments type, or we can say that the elements or values we can able to pass in a multi-value annotations. Meta annotations, these annotations are used to annotate other annotations, providing a way to customize the behavior of a usage of the annotations. It just overriding, or we can say that these type of annotations. What are all the inbuilt annotations in Java? Preferred annotations and syntax, and using annotations and enhancing readability. In preferred annotations, Java provides a set of inbuilt annotations that serves the various purposes such as marking deprecated code and surprising warning and denoting the override methods. For example, I will say that if you have two classes, one is class A, another one is class B. If you have a method, call it as ABC. You have a ABC method under A class also and under B class also. Then how does compiler come to know that which one you are going to access? It will be confusing, right? Yeah. At that time, overloading or overriding method or overriding inbuilt annotations works. If you write at override in the first class like parent class, then if you inherit that, it will be displaying that the if you are typing any other names in the class name or anything like that, it will specify there itself. You don't want to run the code and then there will be issue in a runtime. It won't be happen in this case. You can able to see the error in the compile time itself. Then if you are giving ABC as a method in class A, but if you try to give the same name in a class B after writing at override on the top of the class name, then it will provide nothing. No errors will be there. If you try to write anything like A B C D in the class B, then it will provide an error. There is unknown override functions or unknown method called ABCD from the parent class, so that you can able to know that if you are giving any large names or large class names, at that time it will be more helpful to access and all. Otherwise it will be more difficult, because if you are giving a 3 word in a single class name, then it will be you are writing you are using that camel case or some Pascal or camel case. Let us take as a Pascal itself. Pascal formation, and if you're writing in that way, in that any symbols or any variables are misplaced, like if you want to write capital P, instead of that you have written small p, it will be issues, right? Yeah, that will be solved using this override annotation, inbuilt annotation. Let's see the syntax and usage. These annotations are denoted by the at symbol followed by the annotation name. I have told you, right? At override. At is a syntax, that symbol. After that we have to write the annotation name, and can be applied to classes, methods, fields and other program elements. Enhancing readability and inbuilt annotations helps improve code clarity and maintainability by providing additional context and information to develop tools. Custom annotations. Use user-defined annotations. Java allows developers to create their own custom annotations to add metadata and provide more context in their code. And feasibility in design. Custom annotations can be designed with the various elements like retention policies and target elements to cite the specific need of the project. Improving the readability. Will design the custom annotations can enhance the readability and maintainability for a complex code bases, and by the providing clear semantic meaning. Annotation processing. Annotation can be processed at a compile time and runtime or in a runtime to perform the task like code generations or validations or configuration management. Let us take an example. If you are creating your own uh, annotations, then the syntax will be, let's see, is there any syntax? Okay, no. Okay, first we have to provide the target of the annotations. Target will be like element type will be type, this will be the target, and after that we have to provide the retention policy. It is compulsory. In a retention policy we have three types. So one is source, which is disabled at the runtime, and another one is classes. It should be stored in a .zip file, but it is not available at the runtime. And another one is runtime. Retention policy at runtime, it will be available for all the compile time and both compile time and runtime. It will be, after that we have to define our own annotations. For that we have to use at interface our annotation name, and then curly braces we have to open and close, and in between that you can provide any integer or string. If you are giving any strings like string name method, if you are passing any methods like name, then you have to provide some value, default value. It should be like initially the default value will be my own annotations or my first annotation, default space, with the double quotes you have to write my first annotation. Then it will be taking the same data when you are using these annotations. If you are doing this one, what happens means like in the when you are using the your own annotations, if you doesn't pass anything in a annotation, then it will take the default value. Other, if you are providing anything like any data, it's okay, it doesn't be matters, or it is not a problem. But if you are not providing anything under the anything in the annotation, then it will be raising an issue, right? So that we have to give, it is a best way to provide our default value to the annotations at all. Okay guys, let move. Defining annotation elements. Annotation target. Annotations can be applied to various programs elements like classes, methods and fields, parameters and more. The at target meta annotation specifies the where the annotation can be used. Annotations, abbreviations or attributes. Annotations can have their own attributes which are similar to parameters, and these allows you to customize the behavior and metadata of the annotation. Default attributes, attribute values are annotations can define a default value for their attributes, and making them more flexible and easier to use. This reduces the need to specify the every attribute explicitly. Annotation retention policies: source retention, class retention and runtime retention. I have already discussed about this in a previous slide itself. So let's move the next slide. Annotation processing. Compile time annotation and runtime annotation. Another one is custom annotation process. Compile time annotations are processed by the Java compiler and can be used to generate the code, validate the code or provide the metadata. In the runtime annotations are accessible at runtime and can be used to inspect and on the annotated elements dynamically. Custom annotation processes. Developers can create their own annotations and processor to automate task or validate code or generate the bio bill code based on the annotations. The use cases of annotations, code documentation, and other things, and dependency injections, testing and validations, and compiler plugins. Thank you guys. I think you'll be getting some idea about what is annotation and why we use annotations. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe the channel, and see you.